You probably noticed the length and depth of this section of the tutorial on publishing. The reason for that is you have quite a number of publishing options to set up before you actually publish your various director projects. So let's go ahead and get started with the various publish settings that you have available for you. Most of these are going to be found under the File Publish Settings dialog. Notice that this dialog has a series of tabs along the top, and each one contains a number of settings. So let's go ahead and get started running through the important settings here in the various tabs. Starting with the Formats tab, use this tab to select the desired movie format and for determining the types of files that you wish to publish. First thing I want you to notice is that Director can publish both Macintosh and Windows projectors, so it is cross-platform. In older versions of Flash, you needed to buy a Mac version of the program to publish a Macintosh projector, and you needed to purchase a Windows version to publish Windows projectors, but that's been fixed, and now you can create both types of projectors in either version of Director. To specify a different location for the published files, click the Browse button next to each option here. Network paths are also supported. You can copy the published HTML file and its corresponding Shockwave file to a web server and then access the HTML file by providing the HTTP path in the internet browser. That's these options here. Notice that in addition to publishing a Shockwave DCR file, HTML file, or Windows or Macintosh projector, you can also publish an image file. This will create a JPEG of the first frame in the movie. You also have options for having Director confirm when you're replacing published files to ensure that you in fact do want to replace those files. You can also have Director prompt you for a location when publishing. Always a good idea because you want to keep track of where you're publishing your various files. The DCR file is linked to the HTML file, so if those are getting published in different locations, you'll run into trouble. And there's also options for automatically saving the director file, the DIR file, when the movie is published. And then also an option for previewing the movie after publishing. This is the only option here that's enabled by default. The next tab is the Projector tab for setting the options for creating your Windows or Macintosh projectors. Here from the Player Type drop-down, select a type of projector, either Standard or Shockwave. Standard includes the uncompressed player code in the projector file. This option starts the movie faster than other options but creates the largest projector file. The Shockwave option makes the projector use the Shockwave player installed in a user's system instead of including the player code in the projector file. If the Shockwave player is not available when the movie runs, the movie will prompt the user to download it. Notice that each of these gives you a short description in the scrolling text box below. Next, you have options for saving a splash image from a specified frame and for creating a custom icon for the application file. It's kind of a nice technique if you don't want the director icon to show when you have the executable file. Animate in background lets the movie continue playing if the user switches to another application. This is very useful if you want the movie to continue running in the background when its window is not active. If this option is unchecked, the movie pauses when the user switches to another application and resumes when the user switches back. Full screen is a very nice feature that I often use when doing kiosk type of projects in Director. This sets the movie to fill the entire screen while it's playing. Other important settings here include center stage and monitor. This specifies that the movie stays in the center of the screen when playing. Then you have extra options down here. The reset monitor to match movie's color depth automatically changes the color depth of your monitor to the color depth of each movie in the projector playlist. The extra main memory setting makes Director use available system memory when its own partition is full. Now I have to make one more mention about problems with linked media. To avoid problems with this linked media, you'll want to create the new projector in its final folder location and don't move it to a different folder. Director turns the movies, casts, and included extra extensions into a single projector. Let me now move on to the next movie and review the various settings and options here in the Files tab of the Publish Settings dialog.